Alright, so we've talked about before how Einstein used the random motion of little particles in water to prove that atoms existed. And you've done an experiment so far seeing that motion for yourself and using that to measure the size of atoms. What I want to do in this video is talk a little bit about probability theory, which is basically a very important way of thinking about the world. So whenever you do anything in the world, you never get a predictive outcome. If you go outside, you might slip on a banana, or if you go drive outside in traffic, there might be a lot of traffic one day, some days it's just empty, and you can't predict for sure what's going to happen. But what probability theory allows you to do is say, what are the patterns? Maybe if I go drive today, I know it's sunny, I know it's Sunday or something, and you know that there's a low probability that there's a lot of traffic, but you can't know for sure. So it's a very important theory because we can't predict the world directly, and it's a deep question if you want to ask, is the world really probabilistic in the sense that no matter what you do, you can't predict things with certainty? Or is the probability just because we are ignorant of some factors? So if I had a coin and I toss it, if I knew exactly how I tossed it and I knew everything about the air, can I predict exactly how it's going to land? Well, if I knew enough, then probably I can, but usually you don't know enough, and because of chaos theory and because of quantum mechanics, probably the world is probabilistic and we can't really predict things with certainty. All we can say is, what's the probability that this thing will happen, what's the probability of that thing will happen, and because of that, you need to know how to use probability theory to extract patterns out of the world. So let's start with the basic idea. Probability just tells you that whenever you do something, there is this thing called the sample space, which is the set of all possible outcomes, which is just what you would get if you did an experiment. So let's say you live in the jungle or are out in the wild and you hear some weird noise and you don't know what made that noise. It could be the set of possible outcomes could be like a lion, giraffe, could be snail, koala, whatever, arguing ants, dancing bees, whatever, stuff like that. And you don't know which one it is, but you know you've been long enough in the jungle, you've been living there for 10 years, and you know that it's one of these. And every time you hear that noise, you go out and see which one it is. So this is basically the set of all possible outcomes. So this would be the sample space. It's basically when you go out into the world, what are you going to measure? An event basically is a subset of this sample space. So an event could be something that eats you, and it's a subset of these. So a lion can eat you, so that set would be a lion. Ants, they can eat you, and that's it. And it could be something that can sting you, and that would be bees, ants, and snail. And if you have this set and this set, you can say, well, what if I go out and it's something that is gonna sting me or eat me? You don't care which one it is, but it's like if it's one of them, you want to avoid it. So you could say that would be a union of the two sets. So it's can sting or can eat, and that would be bees. Like, you would just go over the two sets and just count everything you see. You have bees, ants, and snail in the sting, and then you add the lion because it's not there. But you don't add the ants because it's already there. So this is, you can say, can sting and a union with eat. If you're worried about something that can sting you and eat you, then you would say, it's going to be the thing that's here and here. So that would be the intersection of the two. So eat and, or intersection with sting, that's just the and. Okay, so this is the basic idea, just thinking about sets. Like, what is the set of everything that can happen, and then you can say, select from that some of the things, some events, like can sting you, can eat you, and things like that.